What's up with my APA family? It's your boy L APA coming through with another video. The mind, soul, you already know. And as always, man, on this platform, you already know what we're doing, man. We're trying to kick the tails for the youngsters, reoffenders. So hopefully they don't go into the system, right? And as you can tell by the good old caption, that uña, that thumbnail. Man, we're going to talk about something a little different. I don't know if anybody's ever talked about porters in prison, but I want to talk about some of the things that they go through, some of the responsibilities, things like that, right? It's not a puzzle, you know. It's not a big question mark if you're, for anybody that's in there locked up on both sides of the legal system or criminal system or whatever, you know, cops and robbers, I guess what I'm trying to say. So for instance, man, I started thinking about it because of the Super Bowl, right? I was gonna do a different video, but Super Bowl weekend, right? Super Bowl, man. Usually the porters are out there, they're the ones that have action to have squares, meaning gambling. Football squares, Super Bowl squares. And for those of you guys that know what squares is, I'll be surprised if you don't. Is you have a X amount of squares, and every single square that you pick, you draw, you buy a square. And there you buy a square for like $1, 25 cents, some are $2. It depends, right? Out here, it probably is a lot more than that. But it gives us something to look forward to, man. And every quarter, depending on the score, if the score lands on your square, you win whatever bag is for that square. However amount of money the payout is, and this and that. Usually porters be doing that because they got the action. But other homies do it too, right? The porters are the ones out there taking heat, moving things from point A to point B. The porters are the ones that have action to the food, you know, especially phone calls, right? I spoke about this before. Like, you got them phone monsters, man. Dudes that are in there. You only get a 15-minute phone call, right? Or at least when I was in there. I know now that there's free phone calls and all kinds of shit. But for somebody that's trying to keep a relationship in prison, man, 15 minutes ain't enough. You know, it ain't enough. So porters are the ones that got action to it, man. Usually they come out at the night shift. They come out like anytime after 2 o'clock. They come out, they pass out the sheets for the day, if it's laundry day, you know, and then they fucking they clean the day room, whatnot, pass out chow. They're the ones that pass out the food and all that. If you're in a prison that self-feeds, like the 180s, most of them, that's what they do, they self-feed. And they're the ones that pass that out. Let me see, a lot of guys have been asking me too, like, what are some of the functions in there, porters and all that. Some people have been asking me, what's a porter, you know, like, so that's another good reason for doing this video too, just for anybody that doesn't know what a porter is or what the functions are. So yeah, man, but they're the ones that got anytime after 6 o'clock, 6:30, whenever the phone is open and somebody didn't sign up for that time, because you got slots open before or after. They're the ones that are out there, bro. Like, they got action to the phones because the phones are in the day room and they're running around the day room all shift. And they can talk as long as they want, man. And they're usually the ones that got that type of action. Also, you know, they get broken off because they be passing around a lot of contraband around. So they get broken off with a little something here, a little something there, you know, appreciation, things like that. They're the ones that have responsibility if something were to kick off in a day room or something like that between anybody, right? To be on their toes, you know, be on their toes, make sure that if something needs to get flushed, they try to get snatched up, whatnot, they know where to go, and things like that, you know. Everybody trying to get a porter job. Everybody's trying to get a porter job because for the most part it pays. I mean, no prison job is going to pay you good except PIA. But a porter job pays you decent, meaning you get all the perks of being out there, being blessed by different races for just simply moving things around. Now let me get to the to the bad porters, the irritated porters, the rude porters. Even though they're very rare on the 4-yard, there is dudes, bro, that just, you know, especially the morning porters, man. The morning porters are the ones that sometimes they wake up in a bad mood, whatnot. And you know, if you're a lifer, I mean, it's kind of, it's not a stretch to to hear that you wake up in a bad mood sometimes. You know, you're in that motherfucker stuck for life. And some people, man, the porters got to put up with a lot, because some people, if it's just like a regular thing, or like dudes that are on drugs that want to pass 1,000 kites, that's like the biggest pet peeve for a porter, to be asked right out the top, right where their cell door opens and they're on the way to get the cart to pass out chow. Like, hey homie, excuse me, can you get this to cell 130? Hey, can you get this to cell 220? Like, that's like the number one thing, man. Everybody knows, man. Some dudes don't got no common sense though. Common courtesy dictates that wait for that man to pass out chow first, wait for him to clean first or whatnot, or unless you know that he doesn't mind, unless you know, or he's told you before, like, hey, I ain't tripping, you know, shoot, whatever. And from what I've noticed, when a porter first starts working, they really don't mind, because, you know, they're trying to help, whatever. They're excited to be a porter. But by the time 2-3 months go into it, probably less sometimes, they're tired of it. They don't want to pass kites. They don't want to do none of this shit. So they pick times for them to pass kites. Sometimes they give you that stink look, like, you again? You know, like. So that's why it's always a good idea to bless him with a little something. I used to always bless the porter with a little something, man. Especially if I had him go pick up some canteen from this cell or that cell. I always bless him with a few soups, a bag of chips, whatnot, you know. I used to like giving out bags of chips, because bags of chips in there are like, well, they're a luxury. They're a luxury, man. Usually everybody blesses with soups and shit. So if it wasn't a little bit of fucking jale, it would be some chips or whatnot. Soups would be the last resort for me. But hey, soups come in handy though. So, but yeah, man, it starts getting to him, man. It starts getting to him. And like I said, once again, man, the reason I'm doing a porter video is because, honestly, the Super Bowl thing, right? And nobody, I'm sure somebody's probably done a video on porters or explained what a porter is, but I've never seen a video on a porter. So I was just like, fuck it, man, let me do a porter video. And if you think about it, man, if I think about it, them dudes, man, they really they got it bad sometimes. They got it good, but sometimes they got it bad. Especially on a lockdown, right? Porter on a lockdown. Man, a porter on a lockdown has to clean everything by himself, has to damn near pass out the chow by himself, and it's the only one out there for the amount of time that the COs let them out there, because sometimes they lock them down early, especially if it's like an institutional lockdown. So they're the only ones, bro, that are out there to pass something around. Yeah, we do fish. Yeah, of course, there's the train. If you guys don't know what the train is on a 180, then I don't know what to tell you. So if you guys don't know what a train is on a 180, hit me up in the comment section. See if you guys want to know. Or if you know, just put it out there. Save me some time. But reality is, it depending on my mood, or whether I already cleaned the floor several fucking times, I didn't want to fish no more, man, because that brings in dust, that brings in dirt, and then you have to clean the floor again, and it's a whole process, right? So why not just have a porter go pass some stuff, right? And sometimes you want to pass a CD player, a TV, you know, whatnot. It really just depends, man. The only thing that sucks about porters on a lockdown is that if that porter is not your race, then you have to fish if you want to pass some things, you know, because you just cannot, in there, you cannot pass something that's hot to a porter of another race, if it's a weapon or things of that sort, right? Unless you, weapons, no, it's a no. But other things, if you trust a porter, then, you know, it's up to your discretion. But weapons, never pass a weapon with a porter. That's not your race, you know. That's just the rules. You break that rule, you get messed up, you know. So I guess, last but not least, man, the porters are the ones that really sometimes depending get the action with the you know, sometimes if there's a female CO, they're the only ones that can talk to them. If there's appliances in the office or something gets snatched up in the office, they're the only ones that really got access to that. I mean, as long as they don't notice that it's missing, you know, they got to be slick about it. And so yeah, man, ultimately, man, that's their biggest asset. It's just being blessed by everybody, you know. But it is a responsibility, because say something's about to kick off, or we're on a lockdown and it's still on site, and something happens, the porters are sometimes going to be the ones that they let out first the next day, because they're the workers. And sometimes, man, they're the first ones that got to get off. They're the first ones that got to take off on another race that we're at, you know, that we had an incident with or whatnot. But other than that, man, if you guys have heard any other functions of a porter that I did not mention here, let me know. Any questions, let me know. You guys already know there's more videos coming, guys. I appreciate you guys. We're on the road to 1,000. I appreciate you guys. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button, and only if you want. APA, one life saved is one life blessed. A smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. Be good.